breaking news coming in. Now, Hafiz Muhammad Saeed has been caught on tape boasting that 4 Pakistani Mujahideen had carried out the January 9th attack on an Indian Army facility in the Akhnur sector of Jammu and Kashmir, with the Lashkar-e-Taiba founder describing it as a surgical strike. Now, Hafiz Saeed spoke at a gathering of hundreds of the Jamaat-ud-Dawa operatives at Muzaffarabad in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir on Wednesday. Now, Hafiz Saeed said in his audio, and I quote, 4 young men entered the camp at Akhnur, Jammu. I'm talking about something recent. It's not an old event. It happened 2 days ago. Now, Hafiz Saeed claims that 4 men entered the army camp and cleaned up 10 camps of the Indian troops, and all 4 of them returned safe and secure. They were not harmed. This is what Hafiz has boasted, saying that this was a real surgical strike, and he replied to Prime Minister Modi. Now, Saeed, who did not say whether the attackers belonged to the Lashkar-e-Taiba, also boasted that this was a response to the surgical strikes carried out by the Indian Army.
परसों शाम अखनूर जम्मू के कैंप के अंदर दाखिल हुए। ये मैं किरदार बता रहा, पुरानी बात नहीं, ये कल की 2 दिन की बात आपको बता रहा। दाखिल हुए, पूरा फौजी कैंप, नौजवान माशाल्लाह कहते हैं 10 कमरों के अंदर हमने इंडियन फौजियों की सफाई की और बहिफाजत बसलामत चारों ही वापस पहुंचे, कोई खराश भी नहीं आई। समझा गई? ये एक किरदार है, ये है सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक। मोदी ने भी कहा था सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैंने ही उसको जवाब दिया था। मोदी को नवाज शरीफ नहीं जवाब देता, मैं देता हूं अल्लाह के फजल से। वैसे वो जवाब भी मेरा ही मानता है और किसी का जवाब मानता भी कोई नहीं। मैंने कहा था मोदी तूने झूठा दावा किया, हेलीकॉप्टर से जनाब उतारे जा रहे हैं इंडियन फौजी, और ये एक फिल्म चलाई उन्होंने। फिल्म बनाने के तो माहिर है, फिल्म बड़ी शानदार बनाते हैं। फिल्में और होती हैं, लड़ाई और चीज होती है। तो फिल्म बनाई, चलाई, हमने सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की है, बॉर्डर क्रॉस किया है, लश्कर-ए-तैबा के 40 जवान कत्ल किए हैं और फिर क्या शान के साथ इंडियन फौजी वापस गए हैं। ये सारा ही ड्रामा था, एक फिल्म थी जो बनाई, दुनिया को धोखा दिया। मैंने कहा था तूने तो झूठ बोला, फिल्म चलाई, लेकिन तूने मौका दे दिया। अब मुजाहिदीन इंशाअल्लाह तुम्हें बताएंगे कि सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक क्या होती है। उस वक्त से लेकर अब तक ये हो रही है। ये मैं 2 दिन पहले की स्ट्राइक आपको सुना रहा हूँ। जम्मू का जहां जनाब बड़ा दावा, यहाँ पर नहीं कोई मार सकता। 4 मुजाहिद कैंप में दाखिल होकर 10 कमरों की सफाई करके 30 फौजियों को कत्ल करके और सारा कैंप तबाह करके आग लगा के वापस चारों का हिफाजत पहुंचे हैं और पूरी कार्रवाई अल्लाह के फजल से बयान कर रहे हैं।
Was a chilling audio tape where Hafiz Saeed is claiming responsibility, terming the Akhnur terror attack as a surgical strike carried out by him. And for more on this, we are joined in by my colleague Ashish Singh. Ashish, this is an audio tape that has come forth where Hafiz Saeed is claiming effectively the responsibility. Not just that, he appears to be bragging and terming the Akhnur sector's terror attack as a surgical strike conducted by him in response to India's surgical strike. What is the India's response for this?
See, India doesn't respond to whatever Hafiz Saeed says, at least in words. Whatever we have learned from Indian Army regarding this video is that they do not want to respond to a terrorist threat that keeps speaking on almost every gathering of the terror organization. This particular audio is approximately of 2 minutes while Hafiz Saeed was speaking at Muzaffarabad, which is the headquarters, the capital of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, where a group of terrorists had gathered, and he's referring to an Akhnur camp attack. Remember, on Monday, a group of terrorists attacked in which the GREF, 4 casual laborers were injured. Out of them, 3 succumbed to injuries. But this is nothing new. Hafiz Saeed is known for about the terrorist attack, and he claims every terror attack that takes place in Kashmir and any other part of India. So as far as Army's response is concerned, I'm told that they will respond in action and not in words. And the government obviously does not respond to terrorist words and preaching that is called terror attacks. But this particular audio has one peculiar aspect. Surgical strike word for the first time has been used by Hafiz Saeed, and a terror attack has been termed as surgical strike. This is something basically to inspire the youth of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the terrorists, to continue the terror attacks. But all these attacks have been identified by the Indian intelligence agencies, and once the Hafiz Saeed, the international pressure that is built, after that the Indian Army will take actions.
Right, Ashish. Do continue to stay on with us. GD Bakshi also joins us. But before that, let's actually listen to this chilling clipping, this audio clipping, in which Hafiz Saeed terms a terror attack as a surgical strike. Let's listen to that clipping again.
चार नौजवान परसों शाम अखनूर जम्मू के कैंप के अंदर दाखिल हुए। ये मैं किरदार बता रहा, पुरानी बात नहीं, ये कल की 2 दिन की बात आपको बता रहा। दाखिल हुए, पूरा फौजी कैंप, नौजवान माशाल्लाह कहते हैं 10 कमरों के अंदर हमने इंडियन फौजियों की सफाई की और हिफाजत बसलामत चारों ही वापस पहुंचे। कोई खराश भी नहीं आई। समझ आ गई? ये एक किरदार है, ये है सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक। मोदी ने भी कहा था सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैंने ही उसको जवाब दिया था। मोदी को नवाज शरीफ नहीं जवाब देता, मैं देता हूं अल्लाह के फजल से। वैसे वो जवाब भी मेरा ही मानता है और किसी का जवाब मानता भी कोई नहीं। मैंने कहा था मोदी तूने झूठा दावा किया, हेलीकॉप्टर से जनाब उतारे जा रहे हैं इंडियन फौजी, और ये एक फिल्म चलाई उन्होंने। फिल्म बनाने के तो माहिर है।
So that is the chilling audio clipping of Hafiz Saeed speaking at Muzaffarabad, and also GD Bakshi joins us. GD Bakshi, we've just heard this audio clip. Your reactions on this?
You know, the fact of the matter is that he is trying to, virtually challenge our Prime Minister by name, and he is trying to tell us that what a successful strike he's made across the border. He's a little miffed that we haven't reacted much to it. The fact of the matter is, I think we need to follow a policy wherein the surgical strikes become a norm, the new normal. I'm afraid that we have not seen happening. We have just seen one isolated, burst in which we reacted. Thereafter, we have been trying to get back to the old normal, where it becomes a one-way traffic across the line of control. It's Pakistan that seems to have the right to, come across and kill Indian citizens whenever, wherever, and go back without incurring any costs whatsoever. I think this must stop. We must make it clear to Pakistan that our surgical strike was not a one-off, and it will be the new norm in South Asia. I think the time has come to now give that message across, unless we want to wait for another Uri attack, which causes...
Giri Bakshi, what you're effectively hinting at is that the surgical strike that was carried out by India was, at least is now being perceived as a one-off thing. And now Pakistan, to a certain degree, has become complicit thinking that India will think several times before they go into that kind of a surgical strike. So is there a change in strategy that needs to be adopted by India?
There definitely is a change in strategy that needs to be now visible. You can't make a beginning and then try and, go back to business as usual, wherein we are reactive and we try and snuggle back to talks. Already hints are being given that, one of our committees led by Mr. Sinha and Vice Marshal Kapil Kak has all gone and recommended that we should start talking to the Hizbul Mujahideen, to the Lashkar-e-Taiba. I hope they didn't mention them by name. So it would be too mortifying to really accept. I think the time has come that we should live up to our words.
The time has come to live up to our words. Giri Bakshi, do continue to stay on with us, and also my colleague Ashish Singh is still with us. Ashish, every time India presents proof, Pakistan says that there is not enough proof against Hafiz Saeed. Now, with this audio clipping very clearly stating where Hafiz Saeed is taking responsibility for the terror attack, how should India press forward this case against Hafiz Saeed?
See, exactly the way General Bakshi explained to us, he certainly is one of the best defense experts we have in our country today. But what is important is that international pressure is being built by India. But China is creating a lot of trouble. We all know that Hafiz Saeed, Azhar Masood and all these terrorists have been getting a lot of backing, not only from China but also from Pakistan, not only from Pakistan but also from China as well, and that's where exactly the hurdle lies. India has been trying its best at the international level to tackle these terrorists, and once they are designated as the UN terrorists, then obviously it will be easier for India to take forward steps. But that is not happening so far because India is trying at the diplomatic level first, at the international level first. And once the right time comes, as Giri Bakshi explained to us, that the action that would be taken. Remember in the interview with the Defense Minister last month explained, the surgical strike basically was introduced to change the perspective that India can actually retaliate. And the uncertainty perspective has been added.
Absolutely.
Until surgical strike was conducted in September 2016, India's response was predictable. But now the uncertainty principle has been brought in, and whenever Indian Army feels, the Indian government feels, the action would be taken at our choice of location and time.
Absolutely, Ashish. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and also Giri Bakshi for joining us. So as of now, this is the chilling audio clipping that's come forth, and it now remains to be seen as to how Pakistan actually will still continue to give asylum to this man, Hafiz Saeed, who is a terrorist. And now it is going to be very interesting to see as to how the Indian government also takes this case forward. On that note,